we're here in Luxor. We're at the Sofitel Winter Palace. This is our cool key. And this is our room. Daniel?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
I like it old school.
Old school. This is the place to stay when you come to Luxor, by the way. And they upgraded our room, which is great. So we have a nice mirror, a little seating area.
Some nice fruits.
They gave us some nice fruits, complimentary. Very nice. Service impeccable once you arrive. Little seating area with teas, coffees. We have our bed, TV, and there's a little mini bar under here. And then the bathroom. Shower, sink. And then Daniel's gonna show you now the coolest part.
My favorite spot over here. Private terrace in the middle of the hotel. Follow me.
This whole terrace to ourselves.
Because they knew I like to smoke cigars.
Overlooking the garden. Beautiful. Very quiet here in Luxor. Definitely, personally, I like it better here than Cairo. It's way more... Much calmer and...
less busy, less hectic, less noisy. The Nile is blue, not brown.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic place. I can't wait to go to the pool over there.
And the pool is just down there. And just to put in perspective, this is how big our private terrace is here. Hey guys, welcome to Luxor here in Egypt. We are spending 3 nights here, 4 days, and we just came from Cairo. And if you haven't seen my Cairo vlog, it'll be linked above, but also down below, and go check that out. Here we're going to start off our afternoon. We checked into the Sofitel Winter Palace, beautiful hotel, and then I think we're gonna go see some temples on the East Bank today, and then tomorrow we have a whole bunch of adventures to see all the ancient Egyptian temples from the Valley of the Kings, hot air balloon, so much fun stuff coming here in Luxor. So make sure you like this video to help support the vid and subscribe to the channel. We're gonna go meet up with our iEgypt guide, who are also our guides that we booked with back in Cairo. We also connected with them for here in Luxor. So here's the outside of the Sofitel Winter Palace. So the Nile is right in front of us. And then those are the mountains where the Valley of the Kings are. Beautiful day. The weather is so much better here than in Cairo. It's so much warmer, obviously, because we're more south. And the Nile is nice and blue here, whereas in Cairo it's a little bit more brown. So it was only a 1-hour flight to get here from Cairo, and unfortunately there's not a lot of direct routes, so we had to do Cairo first, down to Luxor, and then we'll be flying home later and have to go back up to Cairo. But really quick flight, smooth, easy, no issues. Here we are at Karnak Temple, our first temple here in Luxor.
It's crazy.
At Karnak.
It's fabulous. Look at this.
So every ram here has a Ramses statue, as you can see. This is the most preserved one.
This row of ram-headed sphinxes at Karnak Temple symbolizes the god Amun, and the statues were built to protect the temple and to highlight its axis, which means it is also a path to the gods.
This is the ramp that they used in the ancient times. They'd stack it up to build up everything with the height. And this is the original one here. Walking through Karnak, it's so spectacular. All these giant columns. Wow.
It's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Pictures, videos don't do it justice. You have to come. It's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
Karnak Temple is an ancient religious site covering an area of approximately 247 acres, making it one of the largest temple complexes in the world. It developed over a period of 1,500 years, added to by generation after generation by pharaohs, and resulting in a collection of temples, sanctuaries, pylons, and other decorations that are unparalleled throughout Egypt. Karnak Temple is believed to be the earthly residence of the gods and a portal connecting the moral realm to the divine. The rituals performed within the walls aim to honor the gods, seek their blessings, and ensure the well-being of Egypt and its people.
So we're in Amun-Ra's chamber, and this is a little carving. So that's Amun-Ra there, and these are all the offerings to give to him, which is crazy. You can depict it perfectly, even after all this time. And then it's a straight shoot all the way through. Here's an angle from the opposite side of Karnak Temple. It closes at 5, so if you come in the mid to late afternoon, it's very quiet.
We highly recommend coming to Karnak Temple, especially during that golden hour period. It is so quiet, so magical, so serene. And now we're heading over to Luxor Temple as the sun comes down for our last temple to visit of the day.
So we made it here to Luxor Temple. I'm going to pan it in a sec. Incredible. Here it is. So in front of Luxor Temple, this is the Sphinx Road. There used to be thousands of these Sphinx all the way down, but they've only been able to recover, I think, about 200 of them on each. And then it leads right to the Luxor Temple.
Here's an amazing perspective to see how large all of these structures and statues are here at Luxor Temple, and Luxor Temple is considered the second largest temple in Egypt after the Temple of Karnak. Both the Karnak Temple and the Luxor Temple are connected by that avenue of sphinxes that I showed just at the entry of the Luxor Temple, and that span is 3 kilometers long. They're currently excavating it to continue to reveal all those sphinxes, but that is what connects these two amazing temples together.
It's crazy. Amazing. Everything's huge here. It's
Huge
crazy.
and just so detailed.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Crazy that they built all of this so long ago, thousands of years ago. And this is where the king came for his yearly honeymoon, and his suite was just down there. Really pretty coming here as the sun sets. Luxor Temple, definitely have to come in the evening when it's lit up.
Absolutely impossible to explain how big this is and how beautiful it is.
Yeah, all the delicate, just all the carvings. And we were just in the quarters of the king and queen who came for their honeymoon every year.
A little bit busy.
Yeah, it's definitely, there's a lot of tourists here, but for good reason, because it's absolutely spectacular. And they've lit up everything so nicely.
Turn around and look at
Here, I'll show you this. So the Luxor Temple here, it closes at 8, so you can come here and check it out and have not as tight of a time schedule compared to the Karnak Temple.
I think most people come here at night because, you know, it's all lit up and it looks beautiful.
Just got back to our hotel. Wonderful afternoon for our first day here in Luxor. We're gonna have dinner here just to make it easier for tonight. Tomorrow we're heading to the West Bank to the Valley of the Kings. Anything you want to say for today, Daniel?
Super excited. I'm loving Luxor a lot more than Cairo. It's a lot less busy, more laid back, and the temples are just phenomenal. So
I know. Let's go. We'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. We are headed to a full exciting day. We're heading to the Valley of the Kings, Valley of the Queens, Hatshepsut Temple. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I will put all the proper names on the screen as we see them, just to make sure that spelling and pronunciation, everything is good. So we're heading over there. That's where the Valley of the Kings, everything that we are doing currently, we're gonna head over to. So we're inside here, Valley of the Kings. It's a huge ground, so you get a ticket to get in, and then you also have to get a ticket to go on these little shuttles, and then they bring you to different points in the valley. So there's 60 different tombs here in Valley of the Kings. Some are closed for restoration. We're going to be seeing 3, which are the most colorful. And we will of course show you and tell you which ones they are. We're just waiting to get our ticket from our guide to go on the little shuttle. This used to be part of the New Kingdom, and Luxor actually was the capital during ancient Egyptian times, on and off from Cairo and Luxor. So the king decided which area they wanted to make the capital. Here we go. Yeah. These are all the tombs.
He came here 1824 until number.
So describe how huge this valley is here.
It's massive. Huge.
It's crazy that they
I
dug.
don't know how else to say it.
They dug like underneath. There's all these crazy tunnels to take you obviously to each tomb. It's like really intricate through here. With the GoPro, just to try to give a better perspective on how large this area is. And this is that natural pyramid, because all the kings, they wanted to be put in a pyramid to prepare for the afterlife. Going down into our first tomb, Ramses IV.
Ramses IV was the third pharaoh of the 20th dynasty of the New Kingdom of ancient Egypt. He only reigned for about 6 years and then shortly after passed away, and this is his tomb, which is one of the largest here at the Valley of the Kings. Ramses IV's tomb is also famous for its red granite sarcophagus, ceiling decorated with the goddess Nut, and well-preserved decoration, making it a very popular attraction for visitors and scholars. We highly recommend visiting this tomb when you come to the Valley of the Kings in Luxor. You will not be disappointed. The color is so visible, it's so vibrant, it's crazy to think that this is the original color from thousands of years ago, and the extent of how decorated these tombs are to prepare the pharaohs for the afterlife.
Here in Ramses IV's tomb, I can't believe all the color and the design, everything has lasted thousands of years. It still looks impeccable.
Lost for words, it's absolutely crazy.
Ramses IV, his tomb, so they had stone on the outside, the next tier inside they were in wood, and then the inside of that they had the gold mask and mummy. So there's Daniel standing, just to show you perspective of how big this tomb is, made of solid stone. And they made each of these for all the different kings. Like, just, I can't even imagine how long it took to make all this.
It's very difficult to get perspective, and it's very difficult to capture this on video or picture. It's just
out of this world.
It's crazy.
Here's another perspective out here in the Valley of the Kings.
And here in the Valley of the Kings is a natural pyramid, and this natural pyramid is extremely symbolic because it represents the eternal life, and as it being a natural pyramid, it was seen as divine.
Wow, so here's our next tomb. This is Ramses IX. Just massive. So this is going into the tomb of Ramses IX.
Ramses IX was the son of Ramses III, and he was one of the most powerful and successful pharaohs of the 20th dynasty. Ramses IX came to the throne later in life, and he is very famous for his efforts to revive the worship of Amun, the chief god of the Egyptian pantheon, and he built several temples dedicated to Amun and other deities.
So you can't go down there, but those are more chambers at the base of this tomb. So we're right at the farthest point in Ramses IX's tomb
That we can go.
that we can go. We just showed you. And just incredible, back in the day they had doors, hinges, they sealed this whole spot right off.
So here you can see where they had sealed off this entry point of the tomb, and they did this to deter tomb robbers. The ancient Egyptians used a combination of different tactics, including carving warnings and curses, hidden burial chambers within the tomb, and blocking passages with rubble to seal off entrances for protection.
So this is Ramses II's tomb, but it's closed for restoration. So we're going down in Ramses III's tomb. So the Book of the Dead was written along this side and this side of the first portion of the tomb into the chamber. So the Book of the Dead is written all through here and all there. So the tomb over here, it collapsed, so they have workers slowly working away at that area, but it's all caved in. So where we're walking this bridge, this is where they had like some booby traps so like people couldn't get in. So you can see how deep down it goes. Look at this. So here's the last portion of the tomb that we can see. We're doing some restorations here. So there's more portions of the tomb that collapsed that they're fixing there. Walking through Ramses III's tomb. Pretty amazing. It was the longest, biggest tomb so far that we've seen here. Valley of the Kings.
But it's not the biggest.
It's not the biggest.
And we can only go halfway because the rest collapsed. So they're fixing it right now. It's spectacular.
You could spend all day here looking at all the different tombs. We're like tiny little ants in this huge valley.
They're digging out a...
They're starting to work on some more small tombs, digging away. Look at this bus. Stuck. This bus is stuck. Doing a Mike Myers. So we're on the other side of the Valley of the Kings, like where the mountains are, and we're at the Temple of Hatshepsut. So there is that natural pyramid we showed you from the other side where the Valley of the Kings are. So we're on the other side of that at Hatshepsut Temple. So we're here at the temple. You gotta get back into one of those little golf carts that you have to pay for. But again, thanks to iEgypt, the touring company we book with, everything's taken care of. We just easy, so flawless. But it's great, so you don't have to walk. You just get your ticket, and it takes you right to the front of the temple. So this temple has 3 levels. And the top level you can see all the way to Karnak. So we're in front of Hatshepsut Temple.
That's right.
Right here. So this is the original Sphinx here in front. Built right into the mountain. All this mountain is made of limestone. So Hatshepsut was a female, but she became king, and she reigned for 15 years. She was the longest queen that became a king and reigned. And apparently there was 5 women that became kings here in ancient Egyptian times. So here's the god Anubis and all the offerings to the god. And he was the god that had like the jackal dog head on the top. And this is all preserved from back in Egyptian times. They put beeswax to keep the color and preservation. So this is all original color. This used to be all covered in all sand, and they've discovered how much is down here.
We've excavated.
This is the largest offering table in all of Luxor.
And this was dedicated to the god Ra, and this was completely made out of limestone.
So Daniel's in the Alabaster factory they have here. And he's making a bowl.
How long?
No, I'm okay, thank you.
How long?
Now we're inside the shop. So Daniel, we got the authentic experience of showing you how to make
I
alabaster.
had to go to the authentic place. We have to go to the quarry.
The
Because
quarry.
I don't want the fugazi.
Little jars made of basalt stone. They have also limestone and alabaster. So we're gonna pick up a few little goodies from here. A little authentic canopic jar made of the real basalt stone, and I just really want a set of these beautiful alabaster bowls. These are white alabaster. Alabaster comes in 3 colors, white, brown, and green, but I love the white. Then we're gonna get a little Horus carved out of alabaster as well. So we're here in the Valley of the Queens. The Valley of the Kings have a separate valley of all the tombs, and then the queens had theirs. This is so quiet compared to Valley of the Kings. Apparently most people skip Valley of the Queens, but we wanted to take advantage of seeing everything, so we came here. There's like no tourists here. It's just basically us. We have the whole place to ourselves. Look.
Amazing.
And this is our wonderful tour guide, Hussein. He's been so great. So Nefertari, her tomb is closed. Apparently they only open it once a year. So we're gonna see what we're gonna check out. There's a mister in the Valley of the Queens.
No one's here. The Valley of the Kings, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
1 million people. Queens?
Queens don't get as much attention.
But it's beautiful, look.
Beautiful. Going in, our first tomb at the Valley of the Queens. There's only 3 tombs open for public to see here in the Valley of the Queens.
Hi,
Hello,
where from?
Canada.
Canada Drive.
Yes. So inside this first tomb in Valley of the Queens, it's so preserved. All these original color, it looks like it hasn't even been a few years and it's still there, but this is after thousands of years, it still looks impeccable. So definitely don't skip out on Valley of the Queens. So we're going into the tomb of Waset, and Waset means Luxor, so the tomb of Luxor technically. So this is the tomb of a 7-year-old, very colorful as well. This symbolizes that they're younger than 12 years old. And when they're 12, all of that rest of that gets shaved off. So the boy that died that we're in the tomb of is this one right here. And this is his father, Ramses, who's with him because he's bringing him to the afterlife. And, you know, he's young, he's nervous, scared, so he's there with his dad to help guide him. So the gods had no sandals. High priest and the kings had sandals. Oh, wow, and this is the Book of the Dead. So this is Ramses III. So again, it's every section of the tomb shows the different phases of getting to the next door of the afterlife. And there's 12 in here. So they have the swords to protect, and then you make it through the next portion. Here at the end of the tomb, our last tomb here at the Valley of the Queens. Look at the color, all original.
There's so much amazing history at the Valley of the Queens. Do not miss out visiting this amazing area when you come to Luxor. Now we're visiting the Colossi of Memnon, and this is also located on the West Bank in Luxor, and this is one of the biggest tourist attractions in Luxor. These two magnificent twin statues are the image of Pharaoh Amenhotep III. And there are two smaller statues carved by his feet, one being his wife and the other his mother, and these stand graciously in the horizon of the magnificent Luxor horizons.
So we're here for lunch in Luxor. Came to a local spot we're going to show you in a second. So this restaurant in Luxor is called Africa, and it's a rooftop. Let me show you what the restaurant looks like. Lots of people come here. So there's the Nile and Luxor Temple right there. So we're on currently the West Bank, which is on one side of the Nile, and then East Bank is where we're staying for our accommodations and where we were starting off from yesterday.
This was our lunch, similar cuisine to what we experienced in Cairo, and if you haven't seen our Cairo vlog, it'll be linked above as well as down below in the description box. After lunch, because we had a little bit of a later lunch, we headed back to the hotel just to enjoy some downtime. The grounds are beautiful at the Sofitel Winter Palace. They have a beautiful pool. We highly recommend this hotel.
Little afternoon chill time after all our tours. Daniel's always in the pool. Good morning, guys. It is our last full day here in Luxor, and we are heading to the Temple of Seti I called Abydos. And then we're also heading to another amazing temple that is like an hour drive out. I can't remember the name of it, but I will definitely let you know when we get there. Highly recommend having a really professional team and guide and tour service when you come to Egypt. It just makes the whole experience so much more flawless. Now we're gonna go head out to meet our guide. We arrived here at the Temple of Abydos. We didn't realize it's a 3-hour drive from our hotel to get here. It was a trek, guys, and just to put in perspective, we're the only tourists here at this archaeological site. If you come out here, it is a trek, truly feeling like we are literally in the middle of nowhere in Egypt. So now let's go see the temple. There's Daniel and our wonderful guide, Hussein. We're the only tourists here.
It's a major trek to get here. 3 hours in the desert.
Oh my gosh, we literally trekked through the deserts
Walter
of...
Bankrupt style.
The Temple of Seti I is now known as the Great Temple of Abydos. It was built by Pharaoh Seti I around 1280 BC and is one of the most important archaeological sites of ancient Egypt. This temple was dedicated to the god Osiris and also serves as a funerary complex for Seti I and his family, as well as a pilgrimage center for Osiris worship. Visiting the Great Temple of Abydos is a unique opportunity to immerse yourself in ancient Egyptian history, architecture, and art. The temple's artistic value lies in its beautifully carved reliefs depicting scenes from Egyptian mythology and offering a glimpse into the religious beliefs and practices of the time period.
So this is Seti I here, and the two gods. So this side, one, you're writing your age, the other side, they're writing how old you are. how shiny it is still from the beeswax that they put on it to protect and coat it. And this is in the shrine of Horus. So in this temple, all the faces are all chiseled of all the gods, because these are all gods, are all chiseled off from the Coptics because they only believed in one god. And obviously with all of these gods, they wanted to eliminate that because of their beliefs. So it's pretty crazy. You can see literally every single one is chiseled off. So we have the three gods, Osiris, Isis, and Horus. And they believed Isis was like the Virgin Mary and Horus was like Jesus. And this is Seti the first offering to the gods. And Seti the first was Ramses II's father, just to put in perspective. And there's the light that they created, these little tiny openings to bring in light within the temple. This is one of the originals that the ancient Egyptians created, the one that Daniel was just in. So it's definitely very interesting here at Abydos, the temple here, Seti the First. But it is a trek to get here.
Trek to get here, but it's got a lot of history and it's quite amazing. So no complaints.
No complaints. Just get ready for the trek.
Now we're back in the car heading to our next temple. We're heading to the Temple of Dendera, and this is an hour and a half away from the Temple of Abydos, but it's going south back in the direction of the hotel.
So we're here at Dendera Temple, and this was created by the Greek and the Romans. So it started by the Greeks, finished by the Romans. And this is another hour back to where we are in Luxor. So if you want to come from your hotel in Luxor, it's about an hour drive. We are true adventurers, the two of us.
That's right.
We've been all around Egypt. So this took 150 years to create and build. So it started before Christ and it finished after Christ. So here's Caesar Augustus being carried by the gods here. So that's Caesar Augustus right there. And this was all restored and cleaned up as of 2011 was when it was open to the public. Walking through more history. Roman eagle there and the cross. This is where the first church in all of Egypt was located.
Yeah.
So this is a god of
He's
fun.
always saying, you know,
And when women would have babies, he was there to help dance and make them feel better. Look at his face. So the ceiling has all vultures, which signifies Upper Egypt. So they are there. Kitty in the temple. This is the key of life.
The Dendera Temple is dedicated to the goddess Hathor, and this is an ancient Egyptian goddess who represents motherhood, love, and joy. The Dendera Temple was built in Greco-Roman times between 30 BC and 14 AD, and we absolutely love this temple. It was one of our favorites that we visited.
winding staircase, which is beautiful.
It's crazy. It's like a movie. Like,
I know.
imagine with your torch. It's crazy.
There's a long corridor down here.
There
Look.
you go.
Almost down. And this is the outside of Dendera Temple. These are gargoyles. So Dendera Temple is the only temple that you can actually see proof of Cleopatra. That's her right there. And this is her son when she was married to Caesar. She was married 3 times. The last was her husband, Mark Antony. So our wonderful guide, Hussein, he's taught us so much. He's been wonderful. Thank you. You've been so great.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right, guys, we made it back to our hotel. We had a very long, busy day. It was definitely a trek to get to both of those temples today, but they were amazing. But driving through these towns, it definitely puts into perspective how blessed we are to be living where we live at home, because there is a lot of poverty, and you know, they use a lot of donkeys still for a lot of their farming and getting around, and it's a tough life in some of these villages. We went through Kenna, which is an area within Egypt in the desert.
Listen, it's hard-working farm towns. Nothing wrong with that. Good people. We haven't had any issues, no safety concerns. It's just rough, bumpy roads. You're in the middle of the desert. Thank God, you know, the cars don't break down, because you wouldn't have nothing, right?
You'd be literally stranded if you didn't have a car.
Absolutely nothing. But again, like I said, people have been amazing. We have had 0 issues. It's just, it's a rough go. Prepare, you know, comfortable clothes, your sweaters, dress
Bring your
warm.
water, because there's not really anywhere to get food or drinks or
No
anything.
bathrooms until you get to the actual temples
Temples.
themselves, right? So in between, those hours in between, you're on your own. So pack your big boy and big girl pants and get ready for an adventure, because
ready.
it certainly is. But honestly, the temples
Are just out of this world.
fantastic.
Good morning, guys. It is our last day here in Luxor, Egypt. We are leaving tonight, but we wanted to squeeze in just one more little fun activity. So we are heading to the Luxor Museum, just because it does look beautiful. We looked up online, just something to do in the morning, because we were supposed to do a hot air balloon, but every single day we've been here, it's been canceled in the morning, I think due to like the winds. So that was really upsetting that we weren't able to experience the hot air balloons, but that's okay. We managed to squeeze in an extra temple yesterday, as you would have seen, and then obviously today we are going to the museum. Last museum of our trip. This was in the Valley of the Kings. They put this in one of the tombs for the afterlife. Everything that they put in their tombs was for the afterlife, and the detail. So here's the box, and they have the canopic jars, which is what they did during mummification. They would put the organs, specific organs in each one, and that all comes together so they have it for when they hit the afterlife. So it's a very cute little museum, some beautiful pieces, very historic pieces, just again, crazy what the Egyptian talent that they had back in the day. So guys, we hope you enjoyed our vlog here in Luxor. If you haven't checked out our Cairo vlog, it'll be on the screen, as well as everything will be down below. And we also went to Kenya previously, if you haven't seen that, so check it out, it'll be linked as well. But I hope you enjoyed Egypt. It was super fun to bring you along. Thank you so much for being here if you've made it to the end. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like these vids. It helps support us on our YouTube channel. Bye.